Meghan Markle posted a bizarre video on her social media yesterday, which sent several people into absolute meltdown. It is the cringiest, most uncomfortable piece of tape I've seen in a long time.
Let's get the facts straight. When Meghan Kelly said out loud, on camera, Meghan Sussex helped kill the Queen,
You helped kill the Queen.
she didn't just humiliate herself. She tiptoed straight into a libel lawsuit because under US law, that's defamation. A false, malicious statement presented as fact that damages someone's reputation. Meghan Sussex is a public figure, yes. But the moment Meghan Kelly pushed that death accusation like it was true, she invited a legal team to come knocking. And if Meghan Sussex's lawyers are half as sharp as she is, they've already got the clip, the transcript, and the intent. This wasn't parody, this wasn't opinion, this wasn't satire. This was a woman drowning in irrelevance, weaponizing death to get clicks off a duchess. And if that sounds ghoulish, that's because it is. Let's be honest. Meghan Kelly doesn't hate Meghan Sussex because she's done anything wrong. She hates her because she did everything right and walked away from a system that Meghan Kelly still worships from the outside. Meghan Kelly spent her entire career begging for approval from white patriarchal institutions and still got dropped. Meghan Sussex married into one, exposed it, and then left with her dignity intact. That's why Meghan Kelly's obsessed. She can't stand the fact that Meghan Sussex's existence makes her look small. She cannot stomach the fact that this black woman wasn't supposed to survive the royal machine, thrived. So now she's reduced to this. Frothing on YouTube about a pregnancy video like it's a national crisis. Screaming that dancing while pregnant is cringe, while defending actual predators in suits and crowns. You want to talk about sacred? Talk about your journalistic standards. The ones you threw out the window the moment Fox News cut your check. She disrespected childbirth. Girl, are you hearing yourself? Meghan Sussex danced with her husband. That's disrespectful? Meanwhile, your allies on the right-wing media are platforming a man who thinks women shouldn't vote. But sure, let's police how Meghan shared her joy. She's a narcissist. Coming from a woman who turned getting fired into a 3-part docuseries about her own victimhood, the projection is so loud it's practically echoing. She cast aspersions on the royal family while Prince Philip was dying. No, she shared her truth about racism inside the institution. If you immediately assumed Philip, that's your own conscience, Meghan Kelly, not hers. Meghan Kelly's brand is built on punishing women of color who don't apologize for their existence. She went after Beyonce, Serena, Michelle Obama, and now Meghan Sussex. But Meghan Sussex broke her. Because Meghan Sussex did what Meghan Kelly never could. She walked away from power and never looked back. She spoke the truth and let the chips fall. She told the world, I'd rather be hated and free than loved and silenced. And that triggered every insecure, washed-up media woman who spent her life chasing approval from the same system that eventually chewed her up and spat her out. Meghan Kelly is not a serious journalist. She's not even a serious commentator. She's a political pinup for bitter boomers and internet trolls. A woman with no remaining influence, throwing stones at someone who lives rent-free in her head. And the global conversation. And Meghan Sussex? She doesn't need to respond. She has peace, she has purpose, she has power. All the things Meghan Kelly pretended to have. Until Meghan Sussex's name became her only lifeline. So, Meghan Kelly, here's some advice. Before you speak about someone else's marriage, someone else's baby, someone else's joy, fix the cracks in your own legacy. Because all this ranting won't make you relevant. And it definitely won't make Meghan Sussex small. You didn't expose Meghan Sussex, Meghan Kelly. You exposed yourself as bitter, basic, and legally vulnerable. So watch your mouth before someone makes you eat your words in court.
Hello, and welcome back to Meghan and Harry Tales, the channel where we break down the royal drama, set the record straight, and spotlight the strength, grace, and resilience of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. I'm your host, Adrian, and family. We need to talk, because today's story, it's not just shocking, it's dangerous. And it deserves to be called out loud and clear. Let's dive in. So here's the thing, what we witnessed recently wasn't journalism. It wasn't insightful commentary, it was a masterclass in how to destroy your own credibility with one deeply reckless, defamatory statement. Because yes, Meghan Kelly, the former Fox News anchor turned YouTube provocateur, has crossed a line so egregious, even her most loyal followers should be reaching for a legal handbook. Let me paint the picture. Meghan Kelly, staring straight into the camera, declared, not hinted, not speculated, but declared that Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, helped kill Queen Elizabeth II. Let that sink in. I had to rewind that 3 times, because surely someone who once held a prime-time national TV slot would understand the legal implications of accusing someone falsely of contributing to a monarch's death. But no, she said it with the confidence of a weather reporter. Now, as someone who's followed the Sussex story for years, I've heard a lot of wild takes. I've heard conspiracy theories that could make your eyes roll right out of your head. But this wasn't just crossing the line, it was lighting that line on fire and dancing through the smoke. Let's get real from a legal standpoint. Under US defamation law, there are 4 core elements: a false statement communicated to others, reputational harm if it's a public figure, as Meghan is actual malice. Check, 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 and check. This wasn't Meghan Kelly saying, "I think," or "in my opinion." This was a bold, direct accusation that, if you ask legal experts, is textbook defamation. Legal minds are calling this one of the most clear-cut defamation cases in recent memory. And guess what? It's all on camera, time-stamped, and uploaded for the world to see. But here's the thing. This isn't really about just one comment. This is about a pattern, a deeply disturbing obsession. Meghan Kelly has made targeting Meghan Markle her full-time job. And while Meghan Markle is in Montecito building her brand, nurturing her family, launching globally successful ventures, and staying booked and unbothered, Meghan Kelly is sitting in front of a camera, visibly enraged about a woman who has never so much as spoken her name. It's giving obsession. It's giving insecurity. It's giving bitter podcasting energy. Here's what's really happening. Meghan Kelly isn't just going after Meghan Markle, the person. She's attacking what she represents. A black woman who saw the most powerful and archaic institution in the world, turned it down, exposed its flaws, and walked away on her own terms. That power, that self-worth, that unapologetic truth, it triggers people who spent their whole lives conforming to broken systems. Meghan Kelly climbed the patriarchal media ladder, twisted herself to fit their mold, and got pushed out anyway. She played the game and lost. And now she's spiraling on YouTube, hurling baseless accusations to stay relevant. She criticizes a pregnant woman for dancing on Instagram while defending institutions exposed for systemic abuse and racism. She claims to care about dignity while publicly humiliating herself with lies. Make it make sense. This isn't journalism. This isn't freedom of speech. This is dangerous, inflammatory rhetoric with real-world consequences. Because when you have a platform and you use it to spread false, malicious claims, you're not just stirring drama. You're giving ammo to trolls, to extremists, to hate campaigns. And let's be clear, this is how lies become conspiracy theories. This is how people get harassed. This is how families get threatened. And all for what? Views? Clicks? Ego? Here's the irony. The Duchess of Sussex doesn't even need to respond. Her peace? Louder than Kelly's rants. Her joy? More powerful than the hate. Her success? Proof that living well is the best clapback. While Meghan Kelly is spiraling, the Sussexes are thriving, raising their children, building their media company, changing lives. They're not focused on the noise. They're too busy composing the music. And where is the outrage from Kelly's peers? Where are the so-called defenders of journalism? Silent. The same people who cry free speech have nothing to say when one of their own falsely accuses a woman of murder. But let me remind them, free speech is not freedom from consequences. You don't get to say whatever you want, especially when it's defamatory and dangerous, and walk away unscathed. Let's not ignore the audience here either. Kelly isn't speaking to thoughtful critics or open-minded viewers. She's playing to an angry base, the kind of people who see Meghan Markle's happiness as a personal attack, the kind of people who can't stand her glow, her confidence, her black joy. They're not mad because she did something wrong. They're mad because she refused to shrink. This isn't about criticism. This is about control, about punishing a woman who refused to play the victim, a woman who chose her mental health over institutional tradition, a woman who dared to leave and win. The Duchess of Sussex flipped the table, left the room, and built a whole empire from scratch. That level of audacity, it terrifies people like Meghan Kelly. But guess what? The Sussexes are protected. They have a legal team that doesn't play. The same team that beat British tabloids in court. This isn't Fox News circa 2012. This is 2025. The era of accountability, receipts, and legal consequences. Meghan Kelly is not untouchable. She's not protected by corporate lawyers. If she thinks she can make reckless, defamatory claims and walk away, she's about to learn a very expensive lesson. And this is bigger than Kelly. This is about the abuse the Sussexes have faced since day one. Racist headlines, conspiracies, demeaning press. It's a constant campaign to tear them down. But instead of breaking, they're blooming. Every lie makes their truth stronger. Every attack sharpens their focus. Every smear only makes them shine brighter. Let's take a moment to reflect on Meghan Kelly's fall from grace. Once celebrated for standing up to misogyny in media, she's now reduced to taking petty, baseless shots at Meghan Markle. She's no longer speaking truth to power, she's cozying up to it. She's not challenging the establishment, she's parroting it. Meanwhile, the Sussexes, still standing, still rising. Let's not forget they're human. They've endured abuse few of us could imagine. Attacks on their marriage, their parenting, even their children. And still they move with dignity. Still they choose love. Still they build instead of destroy. So how exactly is dancing on Instagram a scandal? How is choosing joy over trauma a crime? The hypocrisy is loud. This isn't about respect or tradition, it's about control, about power, about silencing women, especially black women who refuse to fall in line. But here's the truth. One woman is making headlines, the other is making history. Meghan Markle exposed racism in the monarchy on Oprah and did it with poise. She's building generational wealth, uplifting causes, changing the narrative. And Meghan Kelly? She's ranting in a dimly lit studio, desperate to stay relevant, bitter about a woman who had the courage to walk away and the brilliance to win. Meghan Kelly is now a cautionary tale. Let it be known. When you spend your time attacking others, you lose sight of your own light. She could have built something meaningful. Instead, she built a brand on bitterness. But here's the beautiful part despite it all. Meghan and Harry remain unbothered, unbroken, and undefeated. Their love grows stronger, their impact deeper, their message louder. Let this serve as your reminder. Truth always outshines tantrums, grace always wins over hate, and joy, that's the sweetest revenge of all. And that's a wrap for today's episode on Meghan and Harry Tales, hosted by yours truly, Adrian. If this message lit a fire in your heart, if you believe in truth over tantrums and grace over gossip, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a beat. Want to support what we do? Tap the super thanks button or support us through PayPal. Every contribution keeps the light shining and the truth flowing. Until next time, Sussex Squad, keep glowing, keep growing, and remember, when the world shouts hate, choose to whisper peace. This is Adrian, signing off with love, truth, and loyalty to Meghan and Harry. Peace and love, always.